welcome to the grand opening of Encircle Ogden, our 5th Encircle home. I'm Alex Cuccini, I'm the Encircle CEO, and I am beyond honored to be here with all of you today. This home represents so much love, belonging, and the power of community. Can you guys feel it in the air, radiating through the walls already? Over the next half hour, we're going to hear from some of the people that made this beautiful dream a possibility. Each home that we build is way more than just a house. It is a promise. It is a promise that every young person who walks through these doors will be seen, they will be affirmed and loved for exactly who they are. Now, let's talk about Ogden for a second, okay? Talk about a passionate group of people. Your passion and your welcome to Encircle have been truly unmatched from the beginning. From the very first conversations that we've had, we could feel how deeply this community believes in caring for one another. And it's a real privilege to be here with all of you, opening these doors today. Encircle's motto is no sides, only love, as you can see behind you. Some of you can't, but there's a gorgeous mural out here. And what that message means is simple, but also at the same time very, very powerful. When we choose to lean in instead of stepping away, when we look closely at one another with compassion, empathy, when you look at each other in the eye, then we begin to see what makes us the same instead of focusing on the things that make us different, the things that divide us. And it's in that closeness that love truly has the final word. There are so many people to thank that made this home possible. Some of them, Cassie and Spencer Young, that are right up here, representing the Young Caring for Our Young Foundation, who embody unconditional love and generosity in the family and the community. Jed and Heather Nilson, also right up here, who pour their hearts into building this home with so much love that you can feel it in the air, and we'll hear from both of them in just a little bit. There's also everybody that gave so generously through naming rights of the rooms in this home that you're going to get to see when you go and tour every single one of these rooms. We have Lisa Eccles with the George S. and Dolores Dore Eccles Foundation. Greg and Angie White. I see you, Greg. Greg made it. He was texting you just now. Daniel and Anna Newman, Jane and Tammy Marcourt, and Reed Hastings. Thank you so much to all of you. Your generosity will save lives, and when I say save lives, I mean that quite literally. There's also the creative vision and the incessant dedication of Roger Bess, April Hickman, Mike Fisher, and the entire team at Nilson Homes. We're so very grateful for all the work that you've done. To the Mundi Project that donated our baby grand in the music room that you'll get to see. There's also Vivint that donated all of our cameras and security systems, not just for this home, but all 5 Encircle homes. IKEA, who built our beautiful kitchen. Mitchell Gold and Bob Williams that generously furnished a lot of the Encircle homes, and our artist Shannon White and his team of volunteers that gave us the gift of the No Sides Only Love mural behind you. I also want to take a moment and I want to thank our incredible board, both current and past board members, many of whom are right here with us today, including our current chair, Mike Leventhal. I just saw you. Mike, where are you? Raise your hand. Vice Chair Rick Atkin, also raise your hand right there in the back, as well as many others. Now, if you're a current or a past Encircle board member, raise your hand so everybody can see where you are. If you don't know who they are, learn, get to know them. They are incredible, okay? Including our incredible past board member, Holly, right here, and always forever Encircle friend, who was pivotal in making the Encircle dream happen from the beginning, who gifted us our very first home in Provo almost 8 years ago. And of course, there's the Encircle staff who go above and beyond every day. And let me tell you, our people here, they don't see what they do as a job because they see it as a mission. They're passionate, they're incredibly talented, and they're beyond dedicated, and it shows in the lives that they change every single day. As you tour the home today, you'll have a chance when you go inside to see what we're calling also the Founder's Circle. It's a beautiful display inside of the home that celebrates all of the people that founded this organization and the generous support that makes Encircle possible to this day. This home, it belongs to Ogden. It belongs to every young person who longs to be understood and every family learning how to love just a little bit more fully. At Encircle, we strengthen the family, we foster understanding, and we help youth discover the power of self-love. And together, we carry forward the truth that here, at least here at Encircle, there are no sides, there's only love. As we celebrate this beautiful milestone, it's only fitting that we hear from someone that has been at the heart of Encircle Ogden's journey from the very beginning. Mike Ostermiller. Mike is our past board chair and current board member. He has been a true hero for this organization, helping make all of the impossible things possible. And he does it over and over and over again. It's his leadership, unwavering commitment that has shaped Encircle in ways that can never be overstated. So it's my honor to welcome my friend, Mike Ostermiller.
I never thought this sentence would leave my mouth ever, but now I know what the Pope must feel like when he gives a speech. This is very papal, looking down on everybody from the porch up here. And I have to say, I woke up this morning, I rolled over, I looked at my beautiful wife, and I said, this feels exactly like Christmas morning. I can't wait for today. I can't wait, and I haven't stopped smiling or crying. Somehow I'm doing both at the same time ever since then, and I'm just so full of emotion and so grateful to be here and to share this moment with everybody that made it possible. Several years ago, I had a conversation with my good friend Stephanie Larson, the founder of Encircle. We dreamt together about how incredible it would be to have an Encircle home in northern Utah. It wasn't very long after that conversation that a realtor friend of mine, Lori Fleming, called me about this very lot for sale in the heart of downtown Ogden. She asked if I knew anybody that might be interested in buying it. She was amazed that this little slice of real estate heaven that had been vacant forever suddenly went up for sale. I wasn't surprised at all because I knew exactly why it did. It was meant for all of us. I knew we would need some funds to purchase the land, so I immediately called two of my friends in the legislature, now Senator Cal Musselman and at the time Speaker Brad Wilson, who both came through with flying colors to help out. Knowing that we would obviously need more money and a lot more money to build the building, I called my good friends Cassie and Spence Young, who own the Young Auto dealerships. They not only immediately and enthusiastically said yes to helping, but when they called me to tell me exactly how much they were willing to donate to make this happen, I was so touched by their generosity, I had to pull my truck, a really nice Ford 150 Raptor, by the way, purchased right down the street at Young Ford Auto, I should mention, over to the side of the road to give myself a minute to cry. Thanks to Spence and Cassie for exhibiting everything that is virtuous and good about corporate America. My family will never buy a car from any other car dealership ever, and I am not joking about that. My next call was to then Mayor, Ogden City Mayor Mike Caldwell and City Council member Marcia White, who is here. Marcia is here somewhere. They both told me that the city would move heaven or earth to make this happen, and they did. Not long after Mayor Ben Caldwell, who you're going to hear from, Mayor Ben Nadolski, who you're going to hear from in just a moment, was elected. Mayor Nadolski and I spoke. He made me the same promise, and he has been nothing but supportive of this project since then. One day I drove past the front when we were under construction, and someone had vandalized the UDOT bus stop in the front, and I thought I need to go back to my office and figure out who to call from UDOT. By the time I got to my office and had 5 minutes to research, the mayor called me and said, hey, I drove by and noticed some graffiti there out in front of the Encircle construction site. I've already called UDOT and asked them to come clean it up for us. That's the kind of attention and love that we've gotten from the city of Ogden since we've started this. The next call that I made after the city was the hardest one. We needed a general contractor to actually do the work to construct this amazing, breathtaking building. I knew that there was only one person that I was going to call, one of my closest friends, Jed Nilson with Nilson Homes. I sat for a long time staring at my phone before dialing, not because I was worried that Jed would say no, but because I knew for sure that he would say yes. I hesitated because I knew how many other charitable activities he was involved in, and because I understood that the economy at the time was making things extremely difficult for home builders. It just might have been the worst time in history from a home builder's perspective to make this ask. I finally summoned the courage to call. I didn't even get the chance to ask the full question, to get it out of my mouth, before Jed interrupted me and said, I want to build it. Will you please let me build it? Please don't call anybody else. I joked that if Jed knew at that time how difficult we were going to make this for him, with funding challenges and delays and high maintenance decisions and everything else, he might not have been so excited to do it. I say that's a joke because, in all sincerity, I have no doubt that even if Jed could have foreseen the challenges that lay ahead, I am still 100% certain he would have said yes. That's just who he is and why it is an honor for me to call him my friend. Roger Best from Nilson Homes didn't eat or sleep for about 3 weeks while he worked day and night on the design of this building and did the near impossible of figuring out how to make a building look and feel like a home and still fit within a city urban setting like this. Jed and Roger and the rest of their team overcame all sorts of challenges to design and build what I believe is the best looking building anywhere in Ogden City. Thanks to the Nilson Homes team, not just for building this, but for building it with so much love. I conclude with a special expression of gratitude to Alex, Jake, and the entire Encircle staff for sharing their brilliance and endless talent, and for always going so far and above and beyond what sane people would do for a job. They are just the best, and words can't express how fortunate we are to have them. The path from my initial conversation with Stephanie all of those years ago to today has not been easy, smooth, or straight. In fact, it's been damn hard for a lot of people. Someone once said to me that the hardest roads often lead to the most important destinations. The Ogden Encircle home is proof that that is true. This home is going to bless and save lives. It is going to bring love and healing to thousands of people and will raise the vibration of this entire community. It might, if I might conclude on a personal note by just saying that the opportunity to serve on the Encircle board has been one of the great honors and privileges of my life. And being here today to see this dream become a reality makes every minute of service infinitely worth it. Thank you again to everyone I've mentioned and those whom I haven't mentioned by name for coming together to make this happen. I honor you. The divine light in me bows to the divine light in each of you. Thank you. Bless you. I join you in our shared conviction that everybody deserves a place where they can come as their authentic selves to feel safe and secure and loved. And that wherever that magical place is, there are no sides. There is only love. Thank you. Namaste.
The next speaker represents a family that models nothing but unconditional love. And to have parents that love you unconditionally, let me tell you, lottery. They've given generously to make Encircle possible. Their foundation, Young Caring for Our Young, like Encircle, is committed to strengthening young people and families. And it is now our pleasure to hear from Cassie Young.
We're just so happy and excited to be here today to celebrate this beautiful home. I want to say thank you to Jed Nilson and Nilson Construction. You guys did an amazing job. And Mike, you played a pivotal role in this too as well. We were first introduced to the Encircle team about 5 years ago, and I remember them coming into our boardroom and saying, please let us tell you about our homes. Let us tell you what we're doing and why we're doing it. And basically, they had identified a need in Utah for our LGBTQ youth, and they believed that that need could save lives. They envisioned a beautiful home for our youth to come and feel loved and accepted. And they wanted it to be a refuge from all of the hard things that they were going through. And this really, really resonated with my husband and I because our oldest daughter had just come out. We knew what a scary and confusing time that can be. And even if your child knows that you love and support them, it can be very, very difficult for them to process internally. They can experience a lot of feelings of shame and a lot of feelings of self-hatred. And so we knew right away that putting an Encircle home in Ogden would make that process so much easier. We also realized that this would be a great opportunity for our family foundation, Young Caring for Our Young, to get involved. Our mission is simple: we help kids, no matter the need. And we truly believe that one of the best ways that we can get involved in our community and support our community is by helping our youth. I know it sounds cliche, but our youth are our future. If we want them to grow into strong, healthy, resilient adults, we've got to give them the support and the tools that they need. And that's why I love that Encircle offers affordable health care, affordable therapies for these youth, and not only for the youth, but for their families. And you guys, that's such a key piece. Our families grow when we are learning together, healing together, and supporting each other. And it's just such a beautiful thing that Encircle offers all of that therapy for these families to heal together. I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming today, for taking time out of your Saturday to show your support. It really means a lot. And I want to say thank you to the entire Encircle team. You guys have worked so hard, and I know this project hasn't been easy, but look what you've done. Look what you've created. You guys are such a force of good for good in our community, and we're just happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Next speaker not only helped build this beautiful home, but poured heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into making sure that every single corner of this home reflects the mission of Encircle. Please help me welcome and make some noise for Jed Nilson, owner of Nilson Homes and owner of this beautiful home that we're opening here in Ogden today.
Wow. I just feel really blessed to be here. I feel kind of like Mike when he said that he woke up and felt like it's Christmas. I woke up and I got to drive past here and bring my my really good friend Josh Byrne. Do you mind standing up real quick? They can't see you from here. Here's my friend Josh Byrne, and I wanted to come on up. So Josh and I grew up together, and we grew up in a time when people weren't as accepting as I feel like we should have been, and it was a really tough time for teenagers and anybody, in fact, from the LGBTQ community back then. And but in our 20s, which was just yesterday because we're really young, but in our 20s, we discovered how unsupportive we had been of the LGBTQ community, and how the things that we said were not loving. And we decided to change our dialogue and to change our points of view. And Josh noticed that. And at a certain point, he said to us, "Hey, I've noticed that you guys have become much more accepting." And we said, "Yeah, we don't know why we ever weren't." And it was just kind of a thing in a part of our dialogue. And he said, well, just so you know, I am gay. And we went, we kind of thought you were, but we didn't know this entire time that the things that we were saying would be damaging to you. And then we got to listen, and we got to listen to my good friend Josh explain to me the pain and suffering that he had felt throughout his entire life, feeling like he was less than and feeling like he would not be accepted. And then we heard of the dark places that he went, here, thinking, I'm never going to be accepted by my friends. Listen to how they talk. I'm never going to be accepted by my family. And so over the next period of time, we showed Josh love and acceptance because, of course, we loved and accepted him, and his family did as well. And so later on in life, and so anyway, Josh has become an amazing father. He's married. He's adopted 3 children. Him and his husband have adopted these 3 children that are wonderful children. And it's been so beautiful to see how where his life was kind of spiraling into dark depression, and now it's beautiful and light and filled with love. And so later on in life, when Mike Ostermiller contacted me, Mike has been very loving and accepting of me throughout my life and has been a wonderful friend and still is one of my closest friends. And so when Mike calls and asks me to do anything, I do my best to say yes. But when he called me about this one, he'd actually warned me. He'd said, hey, in a few years I might call you to build a home for Encircle. And I knew very little about it then. And by the time he called and asked, I did. And so, of course, I said yes. And then I went back to my company and I said, hey, we've been asked to build this home for Encircle, and I explained about Encircle. And I'll admit that I had a little bit of angst that there would be some people that might not be on board for that, and it was the exact opposite. And I discovered that there were people inside of my company that had been hiding things from each other because they didn't know that they would be accepted. And so over the following weeks of announcing that we would build this building, my office, people kept showing up to my office and saying, hey, I didn't know I was safe to talk about this here, and now I feel safe. That showed me what a huge need there was, that even inside my company, since I hadn't been vocal, they didn't know that they could be who they really were. And so at that point, the process of building this home began. Already, just upon announcing it already brought healing to my company. And then when we announced it to all of our subcontractors and suppliers, I got another group of phone calls and visits to my office saying, thank you for doing this, and thank you for publicly supporting this. So then it came to Roger Bess. And if you want to know who Roger Bess is, I'm sure he won't raise his hand, but he might be the guy standing over there that that is acting really nervous right now because he doesn't like to be recognized for his amazing work. But it has to be said that when we talk about Jed Nilson built this home, Jed Nilson agreed to build this home and has a wonderful team that took on this project. And Roger Bess put so much heart and soul into this from the beginning of the design and all the way through to yesterday. He was applying caulking around the different spots in the house because he's like, it's not looking good enough yet. I need to get this detail built perfect. And then after him, we've had Mike Fisher, and I haven't seen him here yet today, but Mike Fisher, one of our construction managers, has spent endless hours here overseeing this project. And it's just been, everyone in our team has been so dedicated to making sure that this got done, and it got done well. And then you come to the Encircle team, who has been so wonderful to work with. I mean, you have a wonderful culture and a wonderful team, and it's been fun to work with them and get this building put together. I want to say a deep, deep thank you to everyone. Roger, thank you. Thank you. I feel like an entire lifetime of his skills and expertise and knowledge matched up with his love and created this, and it's turned out so perfect. So I want to thank everyone that has worked on this. I want to thank the Ogden City officials who worked very well with us and helped us streamline a project that was very overwhelming. And so from the Ogden City staff, the council members, the mayor, the previous Mayor Caldwell, everyone's been wonderful, that they have helped us create a place that will offer love, acceptance, and essential support to thousands of families and individuals for years to come. I'm just grateful that I've been able to be a part of that, of something that will save lives and will remind every person who walks through these doors that they are valued, they are loved, and they belong. Thank you, everyone.
Our pleasure to receive Ogden City Mayor Ben Nadolski.
Thank you, everybody. I will admit, once you stand up here, it does kind of give off Pope vibes. And I say that as a Catholic. I want to say that it is a tremendous honor to be invited to be here. It was a tremendous honor to be invited to be a part of the project. Ogden is a city that is different, and we're different in the way that we love. This city is built and wired in a way that is rooted in what I see in the shirts and on the walls. No sides, only love. And I promise to stick with my remarks, but I just want to say that I want to thank Mike Ostermiller for my memory of the first time, or one of the times that we sat down early on and talked about this project. We were at the restaurant in Farmington, and that was when he shared some personal information with me, and I shared some personal experiences with him. And Mike made sure that there were no sides, that there were only love, and it made room for me to be a participant in this mission, in this project, so thank you for that. This is a home, and one of the speakers said we built a home. Home is where you're supposed to feel most loved and most comfortable, where you get to be your most yourself. And I'm really thankful that we are a city that people get to be who they want to be, and be their best version of what they are and who they are. And that's what this home is. This is a kind of home that's going to embrace all of our youth who want to be here and want to feel at home and feel loved. That's what this place does. And that is a reflection of our city, and our city is a reflection of all of you. And I want to tell you that it's my honor to be your mayor, whether you voted for me or not. Because it's an honor to be the mayor of a city that has so much love within itself. This house will be, for some youth, the first time they felt that level of love. And when they cross in these doors, they don't ever have to wonder. This is a place they feel warm and welcome and loved. So to all of those that made this possible, thank you. To the staff, to the volunteers, to the board, to the city of people, the beautiful people. The city that we're known for so many things. We're known for our mountains. We're known for our rivers. We're known for our downtown. We're known for our farmers market. But first and foremost, we're known for the people and the love that you carry within it. And I just want to say to all of those volunteers, staff, and board members who made this possible, when you love what you do, when you love where you do it, when you love who you do it with and who you do it for, that's when you know that you're not just doing work. And it doesn't feel like work when you're tired. It just feels like a life well lived. Thank you so much.
All right, now I'm very excited for all of you to meet the person that's leading Encircle Ogden's day-to-day mission. She brings a lot of experience already from the work that she's been doing for a couple years at Encircle Heber, and she's very, very passionate about supporting our queer youth here in Ogden. So please, let's give a warm welcome to our program director here at Encircle Ogden, Elise Villaroman.
Each year, the Trevor Project releases a national survey on LGBTQ+ youth mental health. In 2024, they found that 39% of LGBTQ+ young people in the US seriously considered suicide, and 12% attempted. In Utah, the numbers are just as alarming. 42% considered it, and 11% attempted. These statistics, as we know, aren't just numbers. They represent our neighbors, our classmates, our family members, and our friends. Right here in our communities, LGBTQ+ young people are feeling alone, unsafe, and unseen. These numbers reflect a deep need for connection, safety, and support, and this is why Encircle exists. Encircle's mission is to bring the family and community together to enable LGBTQ+ youth and young adults to thrive. For the past 3 years, I've had the privilege of carrying out that mission as program director at Encircle's Heber City location. Each day I witness the magic that happens when family and community come together. Each week, volunteers donated their time, not just to help us maintain the home or run programs, but to make sure every guest felt welcomed, valued, and at home. Our guests knew that Mondays meant they could chat about books with Chloe over family dinner. Tuesdays brought freshly baked chocolate chip cookies from Sid and Annie. Wednesdays usually meant puzzles with Jess and Scott, then art night with Martha. Thursday afternoons were games with Karen and Leonard, then music nights with Crow. And Fridays concluded with epic D&D nights with Jackson and Cherry. These simple, consistent moments and the relationships that grew from them were powerful. They reminded guests that there were people who cared and people who looked forward to seeing them every week. The Trevor Project tells us that having just one accepting adult in an LGBTQ+ young person's life can reduce suicide risk by 40%. At Encircle, our guests found more than one. They walked through the doors and found a place where they felt safe, loved, and celebrated. They built friendships, found support, and created community. Together as community partners, neighbors, and loved ones, queer and ally alike, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of the young people around us. The beautiful thing about working together to accomplish this is that we each have something unique to contribute. So I invite you to ask yourself, what is it that I personally can give? For me, the answer to that question came through serving at Encircle. Opening the Heber City location and witnessing Encircle's mission in action as families and communities came together to support LGBTQ+ young people was truly one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. And now I'm honored to experience it all over again as the program director here in Ogden. Since stepping into this role, I have felt nothing but support from everyone I've met with. It's clear that Ogden is full of heart, tight-knit, generous, and ready for what Encircle has to offer. I'm grateful to each of you for being here today, and I'm excited to walk alongside you as we further this mission together. Thank you.
All right, now Encircle is also built on partnerships, as all of you know, and one of our strongest allies here in Ogden has always been Ogden Pride. Their leadership, their hard work have strengthened this community and paved the way for a home, an Encircle home just like this, to thrive in this community. So it's now my honor to welcome a true community partner and champion for the LGBT youth, the president of Ogden Pride, Sean Childers Gray.
I'm a crier. I've said that several times standing in front of City Council each year when we stand there with support. I have sat here listening to these words, and I'm going a little off script, but Jed said something that answers the question of why do we do these things? The why. As an educator of over 20 years in higher ed, the why is always something that we need to teach. The why is because visibility matters, because when you say something, it opens up so many worlds and opens up eyes and provides love for those we didn't realize. Sometimes we have to hide, but to be visible and stand up is important. What stands before us today is more than a building. It is a home built with love by community and filled with the promise of connection and belonging. At Ogden Pride, we know how important spaces like this are. They strengthen our city by giving youth and families a place where they can feel safe, supported, and celebrated. Encircle's presence here enriches Ogden, and we celebrate the love and resilience this home represents for our broader community. To me, community has always meant more than walls. It is people, it is service, it is love, and it's showing up for one another. Growing up as a young teenager, before coming out, I didn't have a space like this. I needed a space like this. And I know how much it would have meant to feel safe and connected. I remember the times I longed for a place where I could just be myself, where I could find support and encouragement. I didn't have that then, but today youth and families here do. A home where they can belong, where they can explore who they are without fear. Through my work with Ogden Pride, I've seen collaboration make us stronger. When organizations and individuals come together, We don't just meet needs, we multiply the good we can do. Encircle will meet needs in moments when others might not have the means. And as we look to the future with our own LGBTQ-focused upcoming mobile library and Pride Center and other spaces we continue to create, we create every effort that adds to our community's strength. We celebrate every effort that adds to our community's strength. Building community isn't always easy. There are challenges, and sometimes the world can feel very, very heavy. But seeing a home like this gives me hope. It reminds me that every youth who feels alone, there's a place ready to welcome them. For every family seeking understanding, support is waiting. And for every one of us who has ever wished for connection, there is a community to help foster it. My hope for this home is that everyone who walks through its doors feels safe, seen, and supported. That they find connection and the courage to discover and be who they are. Because when youth are lifted up and loved, they grow into incredible adults who carry that love back into the community. This Encircle home is not just a building. Like others have said, it is a promise of love, compassion, and belonging. And with this new chapter and partnership, Pride in Ogden is only stronger. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sean. All right, so the moment that we've all been waiting for is finally here, the ribbon cutting. But before we get to that, I just want to take a moment to recognize 3 very remarkable people who, in spite of everything around them, they believed in the dream and the possibility of a brighter future. Now, 2 of those people, unfortunately, are not here with us anymore. They've become our guardian angels, but one of them is here with us today, this morning, talking about the founders of Encircle, Stephanie Larson, Mitch Larson, and John Williams. Let's all give a big round of applause. Make some noise, Ogden, because the only reason that this place exists is because of the work that Stephanie put into this organization, the vision that she had from the very, very beginning. Yes, more noise, everybody. You can do better than that. Steph, you dreamed of a world where LGBTQ youth and their families could find not just tolerance, but unconditional love and real belonging. It was your hard work and your vision that gave life to this entire movement. It's because of you that 1,000 kids, thousands of them, are now laughing, healing, and quite literally living alive. Kids that would not be here today if it wasn't for this organization, for your love, for your courage, your commitment to believing in them, even when they didn't have the strength to believe in themselves. And if you're queer yourself, you know what that feeling is like. So having somebody that believes in you when you don't changes everything. 8 years ago, Seth, you lit up a torch of hope. And today, opening the doors of this beautiful Encircle Ogden home is proof that that flame keeps on burning just as brightly still. So everyone, one more time, let's give Steph a big, big round of applause. A big thank you for the incredible visionary work that she has been doing for almost a decade now. Thank you for being here, babe. Thank you. And you look gorgeous. I love your outfit. You know the gays, they know an outfit, okay, when they see on. Okay, all right, so I would like to invite everybody that was here speaking to come up to the railing, because this is the moment, y'all, that we actually cut the ribbon, okay? So we have a giant pair of scissors. I would like for Cassie and Judd Nilson to be holding that, and then the rest of us are gonna be here behind the ribbon. I wanna make sure that our camera people, social media, photographer, everybody's ready? Everybody good? Because I'm gonna let go of the microphone. Here we go. I'm actually gonna cut. How about I cut like 5? Everybody, 4, 3,